I'm going to show you a way to steal the website's user's cookies and hijack his or her session using a technique called reflected cross-site scripting. I'm not going to bother telling you the long-winded technical definition of it because it will become apparent as I do the demo. In a nutshell, it takes advantages of poorly defended websites, websites that have input parameters that are echoed, i.e. reflected back as output. So for example, if a user uses a name as input such as Tom, the output then reflects the name received such as hello Tom. The website doesn't adequately check the input parameters, allowing those parameters to contain malicious code. The hacker can then embed malicious code into the input parameters of one of the website's link and then bait users to click on that link. Once a user clicks on the link, the malicious code would execute as part of the website in the context of the victimized user's session. So, with this type of attack, reflected cross-site scripting, the first thing a hacker will do is to look for vulnerabilities in websites. So in this case here, he found this website called SecuroBank and has a domain called hack.me. So he notices that in the About page, there's an input field called email. So he's going to try to type in something there and see what happens. And he sees that what he typed in, hi there, is reflected back to the browser. So the next thing he's going to try and do is he's going to actually try and input some code in there. So here he inputted an image tag, an HTML image tag, which tells the browser to load the image called X, and if it can't do it, it's going to run the script. And the script simply at this point here just does hi there alert, which means that it's going to generate an alert box. So sure enough, that's exactly what it does. And that tells a hacker that the program that this email is being sent to, in this case here called heart.php, is not checking for the validity of input. It's just going to reflect back to the browser whatever that was that was given to it, including scripts. So the next thing he could try and do is to generate a far more nefarious script. Instead of just generating an alert box in this case here, he generated a script that would redirect the browser to a different website. And this, in this case, is his own website. And it's got a program called Cookie Stealer, which basically captures whatever is passed to it. And what is passed to it is a variable called document.cookie, which is the cookies of your session that a user may have with this website called hack.me. So now I'm an innocent user, and my name is Bart Simpson. And one of my favorite bank is the SecuroBank at the domain hack.me. And I like this bank so much that I typically stay logged in all day long. As you can see, it welcomes me nicely with a message, Bart Simpson here. So I go through the rest of my day and I check my email, and I see that in my inbox, I got this email from Homer Simpson, who happens to be the branch manager. And it tells me that there's an update on my SBA loan. So I decide I want to actually see what's behind this link, because I don't want to just be so blindly clicking on links in emails as I've been taught. So I actually go and look at the source, and I see that the link of this email is actually going to this domain called hack.me, which is the bank's hack.me. So I think, hey, that's all good. Let me click on that. And then to my horror, it says that my cookies at SecuroBank has been stolen. And I see that the website that I've been redirected to is called zdemos.impactsw.com, and it's directed to a program called Cookie Stealer, and it looks like that some session cookie has been passed to it. So what happened? Let's take a closer look. Once again, let's take a look at the source. So even though that the link is going to hack.me, which is a proper domain of the bank, you can see that there's a whole bunch of gibberish after that. Now, if you know HTML encoding and also decimal encoding, you will see that you will notice that this is all encoded using those techniques. So if you go ahead and do decoding on it, you will then see it actually is this URL that was demonstrated earlier by the hacker, and is actually passing the session cookie into this website, and this website therefore has captured that cookie. All right, let's go back to being a hacker again. So what's so bad about losing cookies, you might ask? So as you remember, as a hacker, I'm trying to gain access to someone's account within this bank, Securo Bank. But since I don't have a login, I can't access it. But now that I've stolen Bart Simpson's cookie, I can simply copy this, and then I edit my own cookie for this session, and I just simply paste it over to my cookie session variable, which is PHP sesh ID. Save that, go back to the bank's website, and let's see what happens. Go to the account, and as you can see, I'm logged in as Bart Simpson. So how do you defend yourself from this type of attack? First of all, scrub all input. For any input into the website, make sure you filter out any scripts or tags, and also filter out output as well, such that when you're rendering data back to the website, you want to make sure that the data you're rendering doesn't contain code. Consider using application firewalls. Many of these firewalls have built-in filters, which will then help. Consider having auto timeout and expiration of sessions. The longer a user can stay logged on, the larger the window a hacker can have to steal session cookies. Consider also using non-cookie session management techniques. As an end user, don't get phished. Make sure emails are authentic, coming from trusted origins, and don't blindly click on links. Check the links for authenticity and look for any suspicious characters or strings as part of the URL. That applies also for any blogs or any website posts. Get in the habit of logging off. Don't stay logged onto your websites. The longer you stay logged on, the longer a hacker can steal your cookies.